Hello, Miss Thomas. This is Mr. Tshirt. I'm with Talvey Regional Security, Medical Division. Your services are being requested for general prosthetic upkeep for one of our prison facilities. This is unexpected, Selena replied. I didn't even put in a bid for a contract, and I know that I haven't been a Whopperoo long enough to get enough of a reputation for you to even know about me. Yes, however, you are highly recommended by one of our private security subsidiaries in the ring. The work you did for Mr. Tolpru's employee was well regarded by him. The data you provided ensured their preliminary legal claim against Diuk Shuklu. I'm glad they have that at least, Selena said. I really dislike people that do such things. Which is another reason why your skills are requested, Tshirt said. We would like you to go over everything that Shuklu has done work on. We've reason to believe she's done similar things to the prisoners here. That's a bit to take in, Selena replied. Aren't there laws to prevent such things? Yes, there are, Mr. Tshirt said. Which is why we want you to go over her prosthetic work and compile a list of everything that is damaged for our investigation, as well as repair, if possible. That's a tall order, Selena said. How many individuals would I be working on? 306 individuals need to be gone over. You'll be compensated, of course, which we can negotiate over should you accept the job. Yes, I'll accept your request. I'll have a preliminary fee sent to your office by the end of the evening. That would be appreciated, Tshirt said. And send over contact information before terminating the call. 306 diagnostic routines with software repairs? Selena said to herself. That's a huge task. Talk about a lucky break. She did a little dance on her chair in the mostly empty venue. Looking at her phone for the exact time, she wondered what Rutak would be doing, and sent him a quick message telling him she would be in Talvey for a while. She went back to exploring the city, and wondered what kind of favour she owed Goik, as he had not yet contacted her. Even if he found nothing on the data cube, she knew she owed him at least something for even looking into it. Pushing thoughts of the crime lord out of her mind, she instead turned her focus to her pending contract, and what she would charge. As she had never had such a huge contract with any kind of corporation or government agency, she was uncertain as to how much such an endeavour would cost, especially when factoring in software repair. While she offered free diagnostics for first-time clients, she could not do that as everyone in the prison qualified under that language. Though the whole thing was not on an individual basis, she had to remind herself. It was a contracted job from an agency for a large number of beings, so it would fall under something like that of a corporate billing. Pondering upon it some more, she concluded it would be a hefty sum, perhaps enough to outright buy herself a small personal vehicle. It would save her a substantial amount of credits from rideshare services, and that money could be shunted towards vehicle maintenance and assorted costs thereof. Compiling a contract in her head, she walked along the sidewalk in the bright, blue-tinted light of the summer sun, now beginning its long trek towards setting after finally reaching its zenith nearly an hour ago. As she walked, looking at the various boutiques and trinket shops catering to tourists, her phone went off, alerting her to a notification. Thinking that Rutak was awake and finally getting an answer to her, she was sorely disappointed. Opening the notification from her data carrier, she groaned out loud as she read it. To our valued customers. After much deliberation and customer feedback, Noisy Rev Telecommunications will be changing its tiered service plans to better serve you. These changes will affect all plans and render previous plans obsolete. We will honour any ongoing contracts and prepaid services to their conclusion, at which point they will no longer be offered and new plans must be selected. The rest of the document provided images of the new plans offered, and the new pricing details. Stepping into an air-conditioned shop of some kind, not even bothering to see what it sold, she perused the details provided as she took off her sunglasses. The changes to the plans offered was a total change-up of everything the company provided. On the surface, it looked like it was better overall. However, she knew it was a reduction in quality or an increase in pricing. What grated her nerves the most was that unlimited out-system data was an add-on that could only be applied to the most expensive option, and it doubled in price. It was not even offered to prepaid customers like herself. While she had 18 rotations left for her current service plan, she knew she had to change data carriers before she was hit with data fees from so much out-system data. Ugh, stupid Noiserev, Selena said, perhaps a little too loudly in the unknown shop. Quickly looking around a bit in embarrassment, she found that she was alone. Putting her phone away, she began to look around. The shop was relatively small and had an odd, heavy scent to it. The walls seemed to have a themed sort of iconography, hanging as well as framed, that she did not recognize in the slightest. I've never seen a Terran in person, a quiet, raspy voice coming from Selena's left side said, almost startling the small woman. The only Mid-Boss man was shorter than most of his species, a little hunched over and some of his eyes had clouded over, showing his advanced age. However, his functioning eyes held a kind of inner light and spark. I didn't see you there, Selena said, regaining her composure, nor hear you coming. The older man smiled. I may be old, but I've still got my reconnaissance skills from the days of my youth. Feather boots is the phrase, if you please.
Terrans have a similar phrase, Selena said. Ghost feet.
Yes, I think I've heard my great-grandson say that. Now, what brings you to a Disciples of Pearson establishment? The gentleman said, changing the topic of conversation.
Oh, I stepped out of the sun to answer a message, she answered. Sorry if I was loud.
It is no trouble, he said. My name is Philip, and I imagine you know nothing about Pearson.
No, sorry.
Nothing to be sorry over. While a minor religion now, the Disciples of Pearson is the oldest religion of Warutteri, dating all the way back to our Bronze Age, Philip said animatedly, using his hands as he spoke. While we are waning in popularity, our numbers are on the upswing once more. Taking a breath, the old disciple continued on. In these more modern times, we help with the destitute, the sick and refugees from war or other calamities. Not so much as a religion as it once was, but more of a way of being. However, we still follow most of the old rites, pilgrimages, and dream circles, even if quantity bulbs are restricted. Forgive me, I've droned on long enough.
No, it's quite all right, Selena said, then asked. You said you help with refugees?
Most certainly, he replied. Even as far away as Daq Britton 4, though at such a distance help offered is sadly limited.
Selena handed the elderly man her business card. If someone from there needs prosthetic work done, just send them to me, okay? I'm trying to help those in need. I know the conflict is over now, still. Every time bit helps, right?
Every bit will surely help, Miss Thomas, the disciple said, looking the card over. If I know of such beings, old brother Philip will show them the way to your capable hands.
Selena bid the old man farewell and had received a data key from Philip that had a Disciples of a King glyph on all 6 of its sides, so she could learn more about Pearson and his ways. Stepping back out into the summer sun, she felt lighter in spirit, and with that big job coming up, her financial woes would be much more manageable. All that was left was to find out who put a hit on her.